You've got a budget set up that you're living within. You've paid down your debt significantly, and now you've got some money left over. So what do you do with that? In today's video, the third but not necessarily the last video in the series, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of investing and paying yourself, and also some basic ways to get started making your money work for you. If you are not paying yourself, you are missing a huge opportunity to make a financial difference in your life down the road. If you're young and just getting started with your career or still trying to figure out a career path forward, now is the perfect time to start investing. If you're older and never knew what to do like me, now is the perfect time to break those spending habits and start rewarding yourself financially for all those years of hard work. Either way, now is the perfect time to make your money start working for you. We'll get to how to start investing in just a bit, but I wanted to stress how important it is to start now. Let's talk about something called compound interest. Let me show you how investing now can make such a huge difference rather than wait until you're older. Let's look at a couple websites here that I found. This first one is from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. It's actually stlouisfed.org. And they have a link or an article here that was posted back in 2018. How does compound interest work? They had an interesting chart here. Who will earn more? So this is a comparison between two investors. One starts at the age of 25 and the other investor starts at 35. The first investor, starting at 25, only invested for 10 years. They put aside $5,000 a year for just 10 years and then stopped. The second investor started at 35 and put the same amount every year, $5,000, but they invested for 30 years. This assumes that the rate of return is 8% and the compound, everything was compounded annually. And so what happens at the end when they both turn 65? The first investor came out with $787,000, where the second came out with only $611,000. So let's put that into perspective. The first investor only did it for 10 years starting at the age of 25. Just 10 years of investing. The second had to do it for 30 years, and they started later in life. They started at 35 and put that money in for 30 years, and they still couldn't catch up to the first investor who only did it for 10. Okay, let's jump over to the other web page. It's from fidelity.com, and right here's a very interesting chart to me. The power of starting early. This one investor starts at the age of 25, the other just 5 years later. In this example, both contribute $6,000 a year, and each account has a 7% return. Look at what happened after the period of time. When they turned 67 years of age, the individual who started 5 years earlier ended up with almost $1.5 million in their account, and the second only a little over $1 million. You're talking $500,000 because you started 5 years earlier. Just 5 years. This is fascinating to me, just the fact that 5 years made such a significant difference. These are really good depictions of what's called compound interest. Compound interest is basically interest earned on interest earned. So let's say you invest $500, and at the end of the month, that $500 has earned a bit of interest. For this example, let's say it earned $10. Now you have $510 in your account, and then that will start to earn interest. Continue that trend, and your interest earns interest on top of interest on top of interest. You get the idea. And over a long period of time, that can pay huge returns. Now, how do you do it? I'm not going to get into anything too crazy or overly aggressive. I just want to talk about some introductory strategies or real basic ways to invest and to build and create some healthy financial habits. Your bank has some real basic ways to invest your money. They're going to offer a variety of products, and each of them can offer a different rate of return. Basically, the bank will pay you to keep your money parked into one of their accounts. And they've got a variety of accounts, like for example, a savings account. A savings account is just a simple account where you just park your money and it earns a little bit of interest along the way. You've got easy access, little to no restrictions, a very low next to nothing risk, so the interest rate's going to be pretty low. They can also offer a money market account, very similar to the savings, but maybe a slightly higher rate of return, but there's going to be more restrictions. Nothing crazy, but they may limit how many withdrawals you can have over a month, or they may require you to keep a minimum balance. Banks will also offer CDs, or certificate of deposits. These accounts will offer a much higher interest rate, but they're going to lock your money up for a while. It could be a year or more. Another option is an IRA. Most banks are going to offer these types of accounts, but you really need to understand what kind of an account this is. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. Your money's got to stay in there for a good period of time. If you open up what's called a traditional IRA, those contributions are tax deductible. In other words, whatever you contribute for that year when it's tax time, you can deduct that from your taxes. However, when you withdraw it years down the road, that's when you're going to have to pay those income taxes. The government's going to get their money. Opening up a Roth IRA, those contributions are not tax deductible, but when you withdraw years down the road, you don't have to pay income tax. So let's talk a little bit about the withdrawals. Your money is supposed to be put in place in that type of account until you are almost 60 years old. If you take your money out before you reach that age, you're going to be faced with a real hefty penalty. That's basically just paying a fee to withdraw your money. So you need to make sure that you fully understand that your money is going to be locked up for some time. So those are just some of the ways you can walk into a bank right now and have your money start working for you. Those accounts will start paying you back to have your money sitting in there. Using those types of accounts are a great way, in my opinion, to start creating healthy habits by carving out a piece of your income now for yourself down the road. Another way to invest is to see what your job has to offer. If you have a career started or you're at a job and you plan on being there for a good while, do they offer any retirement plans like a 401k? Sometimes if you sign up for one of these types of accounts, your company will match what you put into it, usually up to a certain percent, 3 to 5%. But it's like me saying to you, if you deposit $500 a month, I'll put an additional $500 a month right into your account and it's yours. That's free money. In my opinion, if they're matching anything, it's free money. You should take advantage of it. Now, I'm not saying that a 401k is the best option. Honestly, it's not. It's locked up for a good while and you don't really have any control of how it's being invested. But I would say that you should take advantage of the matching percent if it's offered. Now, if you want to step into something a little bit more advanced, there's the stock market. But what's a stock? A stock is basically a piece of a company. When you purchase stocks, you're buying into that company. Make sure you start studying the companies that you're considering investing in. If you don't know where to start, look around you. What products do you use on a daily basis? I would pick 5 to 10 products that you use and see if you can invest in them by way of buying stock or shares of that company. I'm sure you have a mobile phone or a brand of electronics you like your TV brand, or what about your choice of car? Just look around. I'm sure there are tons of companies that you are already associated with that you could consider investing in. Now, if learning about specific companies to decide on whether or not you should invest is overwhelming, then maybe you should consider something like mutual funds. Mutual funds make it easier because someone else does the work for you. They'll group companies together and take your money and spread it for what they feel is going to be the best outcome. But because someone is doing the work for you, you're going to get hit with some fees for the service. Just remember, investing is a marathon. You're making a huge mistake if you're looking for that one stock that's going to make you millions overnight. Don't chase it. Let it grow. It's like planting a seed. You have to water it, give it sun, and look over it so that seed turns into a great big fruit-bearing tree. If you're really wanting to get serious about investing, there are places you can go and people who you can talk to that are actual wealth coaches and investment specialists. They can really help your financial position. They're going to hear you out, what your desires are, what you would like to see over a period of time. Are you close to retirement? Are you making any major purchases in the near future? Do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to be conservative? And then come up with a plan to begin building your financial portfolio. If you're someone that's like, I really don't want to fool with it, as long as it's making me something or has some sort of interest, I'm good, this may be a good option for you. With investing comes risks, but with careful, calculated decisions, that risk can turn into big rewards. If you found this video helpful and informative, please drop me a thumb and also leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and best of luck on your financial journey. I'm the Capable Gentleman, showing you ways to go from dirty to dapper and to encourage you to never stop learning. Until next time, be kind, everyone. See you next week.